Welcome, dear listener. Find yourself a comfortable place to rest and let your body grow heavy and warm. Take a slow, gentle breath and release any tension you may be carrying. Tonight, we invite you to set aside the busyness of your day and drift together into the quiet corridors of ancient history, a journey not forward, but deep into the past, where clay and stone still hold their secrets. Let the sounds of the present soften now. Let the sharp edges of the day grow distant. There is nothing you need to solve in this moment, nothing you need to hold in your hands. Only the quiet movement of breath and the sense of time slowly widening around you. Somewhere beyond the walls of the room, the world continues in its usual restless way. But here, for a little while, we may step away from all of that. Here, we may walk in thought through ancient halls, beneath old skies, beside rivers that carried the first cities on their banks. Imagine the darkness before dawn, over Mesopotamia, the land between the rivers. The earth is cool. The reeds along the water stir softly in the night wind. In the distance, temple walls rise in patient silence, their outlines barely visible beneath a fading moon. A lamp burns in a small chamber. A scribe bends over wet clay. With careful pressure, he presses wedge-shaped marks into its surface, one after another, building meaning from repetition, memory, and sound. He does not know that thousands of years later, strangers in distant lands will lean close to those same marks and wonder what they were trying to preserve. He only knows that what is being written matters, that it must endure. Etched into clay tablets more than 4,000 years ago, irregular wedge-shaped marks tell stories that quietly challenge what we believe we know about the earliest chapters of human existence. When the German archaeologist Paul Halped sat with those ancient inscriptions in 1884 and began piecing together their meaning, he found not just another version of a creation story, but a rich and layered cosmological account describing beings who descended from the heavens above to bring order to the world below. The opening passages of this Babylonian creation epic, preserved across 7 tablets recovered from the library of Ashurbanipal at Nineveh, offer a narrative considerably more intricate than the simplified divine stories that appear in later religious writings. And so, before the noise of later empires, before familiar creeds hardened into doctrine, before memory was folded into legend and legend into certainty, there was this older voice, a voice pressed into clay, a voice that did not hurry, a voice that spoke of beginnings not as simple miracles performed in an instant, but as movements, divisions, arrivals, and arrangements. In these lines, creation unfolds less like a sudden spark and more like a long process observed by careful witnesses. The world is not merely spoken into being. It is shaped, managed, organized. Waters are named. Beings emerge in sequence. Roles are assigned. Boundaries are drawn. The Enuma Elish opens with primordial waters. Apsu, embodying fresh water, and Tiamat, the living presence of salt water, together formed the watery void from which the earliest gods gradually emerged. And yet, when scholars examine the literal Akkadian translations with care, they find technical vocabulary suggesting a surprisingly sophisticated grasp of celestial mechanics. The word Anunnaki surfaces again and again, a compound derived from the elements An, Una, and Kai, meaning, quite literally, those of heaven who are upon the earth. This linguistic unfolding points not to vague spiritual abstractions, but to beings who had their origins in the sky and later established themselves upon terrestrial ground. If we let our minds linger there for a moment, the phrase begins to settle with unusual weight. Those of heaven who are upon the earth. Not simply spirits drifting beyond sight, not purely symbolic forces, but something more anchored, something that belongs to two realms at once, sky and soil, height and settlement, distance and presence. The old language seems to hold both wonder and plain description in the same breath, as though the writers did not feel the need to choose between reverence and record. They could observe and still revere. They could describe and still bow. This is one of the quiet peculiarities of ancient texts. Modern readers often separate categories with great confidence. Myth on one side, history on the other, religion in one chamber, administration in another, poetry here, measurement there. But the earliest records were not always arranged so neatly. For those who wrote in the first cities, the sacred and the practical often moved together. A temple was a place of ritual, but also a center of storage, record-keeping, labor management, and astronomy. A god could be adored, but also assigned duties. A king could rule by divine sanction, but he still needed grain counted, canals cleared, bricks carried, and laws proclaimed. The ancient world was dense with overlap. That density remains inside its language. The sequence of tablets describes Marduk's great confrontation with Tiamat through the use of weapons that radiate light and produce tremendous, thunderous sound. Depictions that resemble accounts of advanced technology more than they resemble traditional mythological battles. When Marduk splits Tiamat's form to shape the heavens and the earth, the Akkadian verb uzu is used, a word that ordinarily means to divide or arrange existing matter, not to summon something from nothing. This precision of language implies the tablets may be documenting an actual reorganization of planetary or cosmic material by beings of remarkable technological capability. Here again, the mood of the text is strangely deliberate. It does not always sound like wild fantasy. It often sounds like an attempt to describe unfamiliar power using the nearest available vocabulary. Light, sound, splitting, arranging, establishing, fixing. These are concrete actions. They suggest force, but also procedure. One can almost imagine the ancient narrator reaching toward words that were sufficient for the experience, even if not fully equal to it. The brightness was too great, so it became radiance. The noise was too deep, so it became thunder. The method exceeded ordinary understanding, so it became divine action. Yet underneath the poetry, there remains the shape of operations. Steps, effects, outcomes. Archaeological findings from Mesopotamian settlements reveal consistent imagery. Humanoid figures with elongated skulls, frequently depicted descending from disc-shaped objects in the sky. These cylinder seals, traced back to around 3500 BC, predate the written Enuma Elish by over 1,000 years, suggesting that the narrative tradition preserved genuine historical memory rather than invented mythology. The beings shown wear close-fitting garments bearing geometric patterns and carry objects that bear an uncanny resemblance to modern technological instruments. Tiny cylinders rolled across wet clay have left behind whole worlds in miniature. A seal no larger than a finger can preserve a procession, a ritual, a throne room, a star field, a winged figure, an object raised toward the sky. And when the same motifs appear again and again, discs above, ordered rows of symbols, figures distinguished by shape of head or garment, instruments held with care, repetition begins to matter. Repetition is memory's ally. It is how a culture tells itself what should not be forgotten. Not every repeated image is evidence of literal history, of course, but neither is repetition meaningless. It tells us what remained important enough to keep carving. There is something haunting about that persistence. Generations came and went. Cities rose, flourished, and broke. Languages shifted. Kings replaced kings. River channels moved. Brick crumbled. Yet certain forms remained. Certain images returned. The old impressions were copied, adapted, reverently retained. It is as though some memory, whether historical, symbolic, or a fusion of both, continued to breathe beneath the surface of daily life. Even in a world of taxes, harvests, livestock counts, disputes, marriages, and trade contracts, the sky was still being remembered. The Sumerian term Igigi appears in over 200 cuneiform tablets, consistently rendered as those who watch or simply the watchers. These beings occupy a distinct tier in the cosmic hierarchy, positioned below the Anunnaki yet above humanity, serving as intermediaries and observers. The Epic of Gilgamesh describes Shamash, one of the Igigi, monitoring human affairs from his celestial vantage point and intervening in earthly matters through technological means rather than supernatural ones. Those who watch. It is a phrase that carries a stillness of its own. To watch is not necessarily to interfere. It is first to observe, to remain present, to take account. In the hush of night, when human beings feel most aware of the sky above them, the thought of watchers seems to arise almost naturally. Ancient people knew the sensation well, the sense that the heavens were not empty, not silent, not indifferent. Stars moved with order. Seasons turned with fidelity. Eclipses arrived with unsettling precision. The sky seemed lawful, and what is lawful often feels inhabited by intelligence. The watchers in these texts do not belong wholly to the remote, unreachable realm, nor do they belong to ordinary human life. They stand between. They bridge. They report. They supervise. Such intermediary roles appear in many old traditions, but here they are embedded in systems that sound strikingly administrative. There are ranks, functions, positions, responsibilities. One begins to hear less the loose language of fable and more the murmur of governance, as though the cosmos in these records was not only sacred, but organized. Within the Gilgamesh tablets, Utnapishtim recounts how Ea warned him of the coming flood through a wall of reeds, a detail that invites questions about communication methods rather than miraculous divine speech. The precise measurements given for the survival vessel align with engineering principles designed to maximize structural resilience under extreme conditions. The 7-day construction timeline, achieved with assistance from craftsmen possessing remarkable knowledge, implies access to prefabricated components and sophisticated construction methods. The image is unforgettable in its softness, a warning passing through reeds, not a mountain shaking, not a trumpet split across the heavens. Reeds, thin, whispering, ordinary reeds. And yet through this ordinary screen, knowledge moves. A message arrives. Destruction is coming. Build, prepare, measure, seal, survive. Here again the old text resists simple categories. The scene is lyrical, yes, but also practical. A flood is not met with prayer alone. It is met with dimensions, materials, labor, timing, design. And perhaps this is why such narratives endure so powerfully. They do not only speak to fear, they speak to preparation. They tell of a world in which catastrophe can be foreseen, warned against, navigated with intelligence. That idea has always held extraordinary comfort for human beings. If danger can be measured, then perhaps it can be survived. If knowledge can arrive in time, then perhaps the end of one world need not be the end of everything. The Atrahasis epic provides even more detailed technical specifications. Its flood narrative describes the Anunnaki withdrawing to their spacecraft before the deluge begins, positioning themselves at specific altitudes to observe the destruction unfolding below. A description that suggests orbital monitoring capabilities. The text also notes their evident distress at humanity's near extinction, suggesting not cold detachment, but genuine emotional investment in human survival. That small note of distress matters. Across many ancient narratives, the divine is not always calm. The beings above grieve, rage, regret, contend, hesitate. They are powerful, but not always serene. In this, they feel strangely close to human rulers, engineers, planners, even parents, responsible for systems whose outcomes they cannot entirely control. If the text preserves even a shadow of remembered events, then it preserves something unexpectedly intimate as well. Not just intervention from above, but concern. Sumerian administrative records from the city of Nippur document the Anunnaki's organizational structure with the kind of bureaucratic precision one might associate with a colonial administration rather than a mythological pantheon. They are divided into groups of 50, each assigned specific territories and resource management responsibilities. Their names, roles, and reporting hierarchies are laid out in systematic detail. Enlil oversees atmospheric operations. Enki manages terrestrial resources. Ninhursag supervises biological programs. These functional specializations mirror organizational structures familiar from the modern world. It is in these dry, measured details that the ancient material becomes especially intriguing. Poetry can be explained away as metaphor. Symbol can be softened into allegory. But bureaucracy is rarely written for beauty. Lists, allocations, hierarchies, territories, responsibilities, these belong to the language of systems. They suggest continuity, planning, and recurring work. They belong to a world where tasks must be remembered correctly, where error has consequences, where organization matters more than imagination. And yet, even in these severe records, the mystery remains. We are still listening across a vast gulf of time. We are still holding fragments, not fullness. We have tablets broken at the edges, lines lost to erosion, meanings filtered through translation, interpretation, and debate. The ancient world reaches us in pieces, and perhaps it is fitting that it does. Sleep, memory, and history are alike in that way. None of them arrive complete. Each comes in fragments, impressions, silhouettes. A mark here, a name there, a repeated image, a phrase that lingers longer than it should. The Sumerian King List presents perhaps the most striking document in this entire body of evidence. Compiled around 2100 BC from still older sources, it records 8 kings who ruled for a combined total of 241,200 years before the Great Flood. Individual reigns range from 18,600 years for Allogar to 43,200 years for Enmenluana. These figures cannot represent normal human lifespans, and yet the list treats them as historical fact rather than symbolic numbers. The post-flood entries, by contrast, show reign lengths of 20 to 30 years, a sudden and ungraduated change suggesting not mythological exaggeration, but two entirely distinct populations. Long-lived pre-flood rulers and ordinary human dynasties thereafter. And here, at the edge of number, wonder deepens. Enormous spans of time rest beside ordinary reigns, without apology, without explanation. The text does not pause to defend itself. It simply continues, as if the difference between those ages and later human life required no special remark. This calmness is part of what makes the old records so eerie. They do not announce their strangeness. They carry it quietly. For now, let that strangeness remain where it is, suspended in the dark like a distant lantern over old water. Let the names soften in the mind. Let the clay tablets return to their shelves. Let the rivers of ancient Mesopotamia flow on beneath the stars. Archaeological excavations at Sumerian city-states reveal architectural anomalies consistent with this chronology. At Eridu, the earliest occupation layers contain massive stone foundations requiring construction methods well beyond the capabilities of Neolithic populations. The precisely cut basalt blocks, some weighing over 50 tons, bear tool marks inconsistent with copper or bronze implements. These methods vanished from the archaeological record around 3000 BC, coinciding with the King List's transition to human rulers. If we slow down and rest for a moment beside those foundations, we find ourselves in the oldest of landscapes. Eridu, often remembered as one of the first cities, lies quiet now beneath sand and time, but once it stood near the marshes where fresh water met the salt breath of the Gulf. Reeds would have bent in the wind there. Mud brick walls would have warmed beneath the sun. Workers would have moved through temple courtyards, carrying baskets, jars, tools, offerings. Priests would have climbed steps before dawn. Somewhere a child would have laughed. Somewhere a dog would have barked. Somewhere grain would have been counted. And beneath all of it, hidden under the ordinary life of a city, those deeper stones endured. Massive blocks at the beginning of a civilization create a strange kind of unease. We are accustomed to imagining history as a steady ascent, from simple things to complex ones, from rough skill to refined mastery. Yet, again and again, the archaeological record seems to whisper that the pattern is not always so neat. Sometimes there are beginnings that look unexpectedly advanced. Sometimes a technique appears in silence, fully formed, only to fade again later. Sometimes the earliest layer feels less primitive than the one above it. This does not resolve anything by itself, but it leaves a lingering impression, as though memory has folds in it, and what lies deepest may not always be what is simplest. Comparative study of flood narratives from cultures around the world reveals striking similarities that suggest shared historical memory rather than independent mythological creation. The Hindu Puranas describe Vishnu's avatar Matsya rescuing humanity from a great deluge sent by advanced beings called the Devas. The Aztec codex Chimalpopoca records how Tezcatlipoca destroyed a previous world through flood, while sky beings preserved selected humans. Australian Aboriginal Dreamtime traditions speak of rainbow serpents causing vast floods, while sky ancestors rescued chosen groups. It is one of the oldest patterns on Earth: water rising beyond its place, shorelines disappearing, fields erased, houses undone, boats becoming the thin boundary between life and oblivion. No wonder flood stories live so deeply in human imagination. Water remembers what stone forgets. It moves through lands, through generations, through language. A people may lose its city and still keep the story of the wave. It may forget the date and preserve the warning. It may lose the names of rulers and still remember that someone was told to build, to gather, to endure. And yet the similarity of these traditions has long kept scholars and dreamers alike awake at night. Why do such distant cultures, separated by oceans and centuries, speak in echoing forms? Why do chosen survivors appear again and again? Why do beings from the sky or from the divine realm so often intervene not in abstract spiritual terms, but with practical instructions? Build this, bring these, wait this many days, release the bird, land on the mountain, offer thanks, begin again. The geographical distribution of these flood myths follows patterns that resist simple explanations of cultural diffusion. Isolated Pacific Island cultures, pre-Columbian American civilizations, and African tribal traditions all preserve nearly identical narrative elements. Advanced beings warning chosen humans of coming catastrophe, precise instructions for survival vessels, and post-flood genetic bottlenecks. The mathematical probability of such detailed correspondence arising independently approaches zero. Whether one hears in that convergence the trace of shared catastrophe, the deep structure of human memory, or something stranger still, the effect is the same. The world begins to feel older, more interwoven, less local than we once imagined. A flood in one tradition becomes a shadow in another. A warning in one language becomes a ritual in the next. A vessel becomes an ark, a chest, a raft, a mountain refuge, a sealed boat, a house on water. The names change, but the outline persists. And the persistence itself becomes part of the mystery. Geological evidence supports the historical reality of catastrophic flooding events during the period these myths describe. Core samples from the Persian Gulf reveal massive sediment deposits dating to approximately 2,900 BC, consistent with rapid sea level rise. The Black Sea Deluge hypothesis, supported by underwater archaeological discoveries, documents sudden flooding that transformed a freshwater lake into a saltwater sea around 5,600 BC. Aligning temporally with flood narratives from surrounding regions. The earth beneath our feet is quieter than story, but no less expressive. Sediment layers accumulate patiently. Shells settle into mud. Riverbeds shift. Salt intrudes where sweet water once rested. Sand buries settlements and keeps its own long counsel. Then, centuries later, a drill descends. A core rises, and within its narrow cylinder are traces of old violence, dark bands, sudden transitions, signs that calm landscapes were once broken open by immense forces. If the tablets preserve memory and language, the ground preserves memory and texture. There is something deeply soothing, too, in the idea that Earth remembers. Not because catastrophe is soothing, of course, but because memory is. Because it suggests continuity. Because it means that even if human voices fail, the world itself keeps record. In clay, in salt, in pollen, in submerged walls, in shells carried inland, in drowned forests beneath the sea, the planet writes slowly. Its script is vast and difficult to read, but it is no less real for that. The Mesopotamian accounts contain technical details absent from other traditions, suggesting first-hand observation. The Gilgamesh epic specifies that the flood lasted exactly 6 days and 7 nights, with waters receding according to a precise timeline. The Atrahasis version describes atmospheric disturbances preceding the deluge, darkened skies, electrical phenomena, ground tremors, details consistent with eyewitness accounts of major geological events. Here the tone becomes almost report-like. We are given not only terror, but sequence. First the signs, then the darkness, then the trembling, then the water. The narrative proceeds in stages, as though someone wished not merely to frighten future generations, but to inform them. This is how it began. This is what it sounded like. This is what the sky did. This is how long it lasted. Such structure lends the ancient tale an unusual texture. It feels less like a dream and more like a remembrance shaped carefully enough to survive retelling. Cuneiform tablets from Ashurbanipal's library preserve detailed astronomical observations attributed to Anunnaki record-keeping. These documents track planetary movements, lunar cycles, and stellar positions with accuracy not matched by human astronomers until the Renaissance. The Venus tablet of Amisaduqa records that planet's synodic period as 584 days, within 1 day of the modern calculation. Such precision requires sustained observation over many centuries, supporting claims of long-lived non-human observers. Now let the gaze lift from the floodwaters to the night sky. Imagine a roof in ancient Babylon, warm air, a still evening. Below, courtyards dimming into shadow. Above, an immense dome of stars. A watcher marks the rising of Venus, notes its return, counts its absence, waits, records, waits again. Year after year, reign after reign, generation after generation, the heavens repeat their motions with grave serenity. To observe them well requires patience of a very rare kind. Patience beyond appetite, beyond fashion, beyond the brief concerns of ordinary life. This patient watching has always drawn something quiet from the human mind. Astronomy begins in wonder, but it matures into discipline. Numbers accumulate, cycles emerge. The beauty of the sky becomes inseparable from its regularity. In ancient Mesopotamia, that regularity mattered. Crops, ritual dates, royal omens, river patterns, and civic order all leaned in some measure upon the heavens. To know the sky was to hold a subtle kind of power. To predict its motions was to participate in a rhythm greater than the city itself. The tablets describe the Anunnaki establishing the Me, fundamental principles governing the development of civilization. These include specific technologies, metallurgy, agriculture, writing systems, and urban planning. The transfer of each Me to humanity follows patterns of technological introduction rather than gradual cultural evolution. The sudden appearance of complex irrigation systems, monumental architecture, and sophisticated governance structures across Mesopotamia around 3500 BC aligns with the tablet's chronology of Anunnaki intervention. The Me are among the most fascinating ideas to emerge from Sumerian thought. They are more than laws and more than gifts. They are patterns of order, templates of civilization, invisible frameworks by which a people knows how to become a people. Kingship, craft, music, temple service, truth, judgment, writing, perhaps even sorrow and wisdom, all can belong to this hidden treasury. To receive a Me is not simply to be given an object. It is to be initiated into a structure, a way of doing, a way of building, a way of becoming. How gently and how profoundly this reflects the human experience. So much of what we call civilization arrives not as isolated invention, but as transmission. Someone teaches someone. A canal is copied. A measurement is repeated. A sign is learned. A ritual is passed down. A field is laid out according to older knowledge. A city emerges because enough invisible patterns have been shared that people can move together with some coherence. The ancient texts capture that truth in luminous form. Civilization is not merely accumulated labor, it is bestowed order. The systematic documentation preserved in Mesopotamian cuneiform tablets received a revolutionary reinterpretation through the work of Zecharia Sitchin, whose linguistic analysis fundamentally challenged orthodox archaeological understanding. Beginning with his 1976 publication, The 12th Planet, Sitchin presented translations that transformed ancient Sumerian religious texts into historical accounts of extraterrestrial colonization. His methodology centered on literal interpretation of Sumerian terminology, particularly the compound word Dingir, which mainstream Assyriologists translate as God or divine being. And here, many centuries later, another figure enters the story. Not a king, not a priest, not a scribe in a lamplit chamber, but a modern reader sitting before old signs and asking whether the accepted story is complete. This too is a familiar rhythm in the history of knowledge. A text survives. Scholars build a consensus around it. Then someone arrives who reads against the grain, proposing meanings that seem at once audacious, unsettling, and strangely compelling. Whether he is right or wrong in the end, the old tablets begin to breathe differently because of the questions he asked. It is worth pausing with that cultural moment. The 20th century was especially receptive to such reinterpretations. Spaceflight had entered the human imagination. Rockets crossed the sky. Satellites began circling the Earth. The moon was reached. Radio signals leapt invisibly across continents. Suddenly, what previous generations would have called divine or impossible had become at least partly technological. Against that background, ancient stories of descent from heaven, radiant weapons, flying objects, and beings of great knowledge acquired a new atmosphere. They could be reread not as miracles alone, but as misunderstood encounters with advanced intelligence. Sitchin's analysis breaks the term into its constituent elements: den, meaning righteous or pure, and gear, referring to objects that cut through or pierce. He argued that ancient cylinder seals consistently depicted gear as rocket-like objects with pointed tops and flared bases emitting fire or light. Therefore, Dingir becomes righteous ones of the rocket ships, rather than abstract deities. A reading that transforms passages describing their activities from religious metaphor into technical documentation of spacecraft operations and extraterrestrial personnel management. The appeal of such a reading is easy to understand. It offers coherence. It gathers scattered images, descending figures, radiant devices, celestial origins, strange garments, ordered hierarchies, and places them within one sweeping explanation. It promises that the old texts, instead of being tangled with symbol, may be read almost literally. It replaces myth with visitation, worship with administration, divine conflict with technological struggle, creation with intervention. For many readers, this is not merely provocative. It is emotionally satisfying. It makes the ancient world feel suddenly immediate, almost startlingly modern. The academic response proved overwhelmingly critical. Professor Michael Heiser of the University of Wisconsin documented over 50 instances where Sitchin's translations contradict established Sumerian grammatical rules. The Sumerian language employs an agglutinative structure where meaning derives from systematic combination of morphemes according to strict syntactic patterns. Heiser demonstrated that Sitchin frequently disregards these patterns, selecting alternative meanings for individual signs while ignoring their grammatical context within complete sentences. And yet, scholarship has its own deep patience. The work of language is slow. Signs must be compared across tablets, dialects, periods, contexts. A word in one place cannot simply be made to mean whatever best suits a theory in another. Grammar resists imagination. Syntax keeps a steady hand on interpretation. To translate an ancient language is not only to know vocabulary, but to feel the logic beneath it, the quiet habits by which it joins meaning to form. This is demanding work, often unglamorous, frequently invisible to outsiders. But without it, any text may be made to say almost anything. Dr. Ronald Hendel of the University of California, Berkeley, examined Sitchin's treatment of the Akkadian term Ilanu, which Sitchin translates as lofty ones to support his extraterrestrial interpretation. Hendel's analysis revealed that Ilanu consistently appears in contexts requiring supernatural rather than technological interpretation. When Mesopotamian texts describe the Ilanu consuming offerings, the verb forms indicate spiritual sustenance rather than physical nutrition. The grammatical structures surrounding these references employ metaphysical terminology, absent from passages describing human activities or material objects. So the old tension remains. On one side, the temptation to literalize. On the other, the discipline of context. The mystery does not disappear simply because experts disagree. If anything, it deepens. Because now we are no longer only listening to the ancient voices. We are listening to modern interpreters listening to ancient voices, and their disagreement becomes part of the story. The tablets endure, but their meanings continue to move. The Oriental Institute of Chicago's Sumerian Dictionary Project, representing over a century of collaborative scholarship, provides extensive documentation contradicting Sitchin's core translations. The project's database contains over 40,000 cuneiform texts with standardized translations verified through multiple independent sources. Their analysis shows that terms Sitchin interprets as technological references consistently appear in religious, mythological, and ceremonial contexts throughout Mesopotamian literature. Their semantic fields relating to spiritual concepts rather than mechanical processes. There is a certain beauty in that collective labor as well. Thousands of fragments, tens of thousands of texts, generations of researchers, all working patiently to reconstruct a language once buried in silence. In a way, this modern scholarly effort mirrors the ancient scribal tradition itself. Both depend on careful copying, on agreement about signs, on memory preserved through system rather than impulse. Even when conclusions diverge, the shared devotion to the text remains. Sitchin's most significant cosmological claim involves Nibiru, which he identifies as a large planet following an elliptical orbit that brings it into the inner solar system every 3,600 years. His translation of the Enuma Elish describes Nibiru as Marduk's celestial counterpart, a wandering planet that disrupted the early solar system's configuration through gravitational interaction with other celestial bodies. Nibiru has become one of those rare names that drift beyond scholarship into popular imagination. It moves through documentaries, whispered speculation, late-night forums, paperbacks with dark covers, conversations half serious and half enchanted. A hidden planet, a returning world, a celestial body whose long absence makes its next arrival feel always possible, always just beyond the horizon of accepted knowledge. Such ideas thrive where astronomy and myth meet, for the sky is large enough to hold both calculation and longing. And perhaps that is the deeper reason such theories persist. Human beings have always suspected that what we know of the heavens is incomplete. The stars inspire humility because they exceed us. Even in the age of telescopes and probes, the outer dark remains immense. There is room there for icy worlds not yet seen, for orbits not yet mapped, for histories not yet told. Whether Nibiru exists in the specific form proposed or not, it rests within that larger emotional truth. The universe is not finished with its revelations. For now, let that thought drift gently with you. Let the ancient cities fall quiet again. Let the sky widen over them. Let the scribes rest, the stones cool, the stars keep their patient courses. The proposed orbital mechanics for Nibiru present substantial astronomical challenges. Dr. Brian Marsden of the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics calculated that any planet following Sitchin's described trajectory would require an orbital eccentricity exceeding 0.9, creating extreme temperature variations incompatible with sustaining complex life. During aphelion, Nibiru would experience temperatures below -200 degrees Celsius. Near perihelion, it would be exposed to solar radiation hundreds of times greater than Earth receives. These conditions would prevent the stable atmospheric and climatic systems necessary for advanced civilization. If we allow ourselves to rest for a moment within those numbers, the scale of space begins to feel both immense and strangely quiet. Temperatures far below anything the human body could endure. Distances so vast that even light takes long minutes, long hours, long years to cross them. Orbits stretched like thin threads across darkness. In such an environment, stability becomes a rare and precious condition. A world must hold itself carefully to sustain life. Its distance from its star, its atmosphere, its internal heat, its motion, all must align with delicate precision. And so, as modern astronomy examines these possibilities, it does so not with dismissal, but with careful measurement. The sky is no longer only a place of story. It is also a place of equations, of models, of simulations that unfold silently within computers, tracing invisible paths across vast spans of time. Where ancient observers once followed the wandering of Venus with steady eyes and clay tablets, modern scientists follow hypothetical worlds through mathematical space, asking not whether they are beautiful, but whether they are possible. Gravitational modeling by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory demonstrates that Nibiru's proposed orbit would destabilize existing planetary arrangements within 10,000 years. Historical astronomical records spanning 4 millennia show no evidence of such perturbations, contradicting the claimed 3,600-year cycle. Additionally, the gravitational effects would produce detectable changes in Earth's orbital parameters, creating climatic patterns not observed in paleoclimatic data. The solar system, though vast, is also balanced. Planets move in quiet agreement with one another, their paths shaped by gravity into long, stable rhythms. To introduce a large, wandering body into that system is not a small adjustment. It would be like adding a heavy weight into a finely tuned mechanism. Over time, the effects would ripple outward. Orbits would shift. Patterns would drift. Subtle changes would accumulate. Yet when scientists look backward through recorded observations, through Babylonian star charts, Greek calculations, medieval records, Renaissance astronomy, and modern telescopic data, they find a remarkable continuity. The sky has changed, yes, but within expected limits. Its movements have been steady enough to support calendars, navigation, agriculture, and prediction across thousands of years. This continuity forms one of the quiet anchors of human civilization. The stars do not behave unpredictably. They move with a reliability that has allowed human beings to build time itself around them. Modern astronomical surveys have catalogued celestial objects throughout the outer solar system without detecting anything matching Nibiru's predicted characteristics. The Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer mission mapped the entire sky in infrared wavelengths, which would reveal large planetary bodies through their thermal emissions, regardless of visible light reflection. Results published in 2012 found no objects matching Nibiru's predicted characteristics within 26,000 astronomical units of the Sun. And yet, even here, the story does not entirely close, because absence of evidence is not always evidence of complete absence. The sky remains wide. Instruments improve, but they are still finite. Detection has limits. Distance softens visibility. Cold objects emit little heat. Dark objects reflect little light. And so astronomy, like all sciences, moves forward not with final answers, but with gradually refined maps of what is known, what is unlikely, and what remains open. However, recent discoveries in the outer solar system have renewed scientific interest in distant planetary bodies. The identification of Eris, Makemake, and other large Kuiper Belt objects demonstrates that significant celestial bodies remain undiscovered in the solar system's periphery. In 2016, astronomers Konstantin Batygin and Mike Brown presented evidence for Planet 9, a hypothetical world with an orbital period of 10,000 to 20,000 years. While Planet 9's proposed characteristics differ substantially from Sitchin's Nibiru, its theoretical existence validates the possibility of large, undiscovered planets in extreme solar orbits. Let the mind drift outward now, beyond the familiar orbits of the inner planets, past Jupiter's vast storms, beyond Saturn's pale rings, further still into the cold region where sunlight weakens and shadows deepen. Out there, far from the warmth of the sun, objects move slowly, almost imperceptibly. Worlds made of ice and rock follow elongated paths that take thousands of years to complete. Some may never come close enough to the inner system to be easily seen. Others may pass silently through regions we have only just begun to observe. In that distant darkness, possibility remains. Not the certainty of ancient return cycles, perhaps, but the quieter possibility that our map of the solar system is not yet finished. That beyond the boundaries we have charted, there are still movements we have yet to fully understand. And this, in its own way, echoes the ancient sense that the heavens are not entirely known, only more precisely described. Sitchin's interpretation of Anunnaki genetic manipulation draws from Sumerian texts describing the creation of humanity through divine intervention in natural evolutionary processes. The Epic of Atrahasis states that Enki and Ninhursag created humans by combining clay with divine essence, producing anatomically modern humans with enhanced cognitive capabilities, but shortened lifespans compared to their creators. Sitchin argues that biblical references to the divine breath of life preserve corrupted memories of genetic engineering performed by scientifically advanced extraterrestrials. Now the story gently returns from the sky to the human form itself. From distant planets and orbital mechanics back to the quiet mystery of our own existence. The question of where we come from has always been one of the deepest and most persistent questions human beings ask. Ancient texts answered it in images of clay shaped by divine hands, animated by breath, guided by intention. Modern science answers it through genetics, evolution, and deep time. And yet, between these explanations, there remains a space where imagination continues to move. The image of clay is especially enduring. Soft earth, shaped with care, given form, then life. It is both humble and profound. It reminds us that human beings are of the earth, made from it, sustained by it, returned to it. And yet, in the ancient telling, there is something more. Something added. Something breathed in. Something that lifts the formed body into awareness. Whether one interprets that as spirit, consciousness, or metaphor, the image continues to resonate across millennia. The Sumerian term Lulu appears in creation texts describing early humans as a hybrid species combining terrestrial and celestial genetic components. Sitchin translates Lulu as mixed being or primitive worker, suggesting humans were engineered as a labor force for Anunnaki mining operations. The texts specify that multiple attempts were required to achieve successful hybridization, with early experiments producing defective offspring, a process that mirrors modern genetic engineering challenges rather than instantaneous divine creation. There is a quiet strangeness in the idea of repeated attempts. It replaces the image of perfect creation with something more tentative, more experimental. Trial and error, adjustment, refinement. These are deeply human processes. To find them echoed in ancient creation narratives gives those stories a different texture, less like distant perfection, more like careful development. And perhaps this is why such interpretations continue to linger. They bring ancient stories closer to familiar experience. They suggest that creation itself might have unfolded through stages, through effort, through correction, rather than appearing fully complete in a single moment. Whether this reflects literal history or symbolic storytelling, it introduces a gentler, more gradual vision of beginnings. Contemporary genetic research has identified several anomalies in human evolutionary development that align with this hypothesis. The human genome contains approximately 200 genes, with no identifiable precursors in the evolutionary record, appearing suddenly in the lineage leading to Homo sapiens. Dr. Francis Collins, director of the National Human Genome Research Institute, acknowledged that these genes represent evolutionary puzzles, requiring explanation beyond conventional natural selection mechanisms. Their functions relate primarily to advanced cognitive processing, language development, and complex social behaviors distinguishing humans from other primates. Modern science, in its quiet and meticulous way, continues to uncover mysteries of its own. The genome, that vast intricate code within every cell, is not a simple, linear story. It contains gaps, sudden appearances, unexpected patterns. Most of these puzzles gradually find explanations as knowledge expands. Others remain open questions, invitations for further inquiry. It is important, in this stillness, not to rush toward conclusions. Mystery does not always require immediate resolution. It can be held gently, examined patiently, allowed to exist without urgency. The human story is long, and our understanding of it is still unfolding. Each new discovery adds detail, but also often reveals new layers of complexity. Mitochondrial DNA analysis reveals that all modern humans descend from a small founding population existing approximately 200,000 years ago in Africa. This genetic bottleneck, sometimes called mitochondrial Eve, indicates a dramatic reduction in human genetic diversity coinciding with the emergence of anatomically modern humans. The bottleneck's severity suggests intervention by external factors rather than gradual population expansion from earlier hominid species. Additionally, Y chromosome data shows that human males descend from an even smaller founding population, indicating selective breeding patterns inconsistent with natural population dynamics. Imagine for a moment a small group of early humans living under an ancient sky. Their numbers are few. Their world is vast. Their knowledge is limited, yet growing. They carry within them the genetic thread that will one day unfold into billions of lives. Whether their story includes unseen intervention or unfolds through natural forces, it remains one of extraordinary continuity. Every person alive today is connected through unbroken lineage to that distant beginning. There is something deeply calming in that thought. Beneath all difference, language, culture, time, place, there is a shared origin. a common thread woven quietly through every human life. The past is not separate from us. It lives within us, in ways both visible and hidden. Human chromosome 2 presents particularly compelling evidence for the genetic manipulation hypothesis. Unlike other great apes, which possess 24 chromosome pairs, humans have only 23. Genetic analysis reveals that human chromosome 2 results from the fusion of two separate chromosomes found in chimpanzees and other primates. The fusion site contains telomeric sequences, typically found at chromosome ends, proving that two distinct chromosomes were joined. This fusion event occurred recently in evolutionary terms and affected the entire human population simultaneously, suggesting deliberate modification rather than random mutation. Here, the language of genetics becomes precise, almost architectural. Chromosomes aligning, joining, fusing. Structures within structures, patterns within patterns. The human body, when viewed at this level, resembles a vast and intricate design, one that continues to reveal its details slowly, layer by layer. And again, interpretation branches into different paths. For some, such features are entirely explainable within evolutionary biology. For others, they hint at deeper intervention. Both approaches attempt to understand the same phenomenon, using different frameworks. The truth, as always, rests within careful observation and ongoing inquiry. Archaeological evidence from global locations supports claims of advanced intervention in human development. Elongated skulls discovered in Peru, Egypt, and Malta display cranial capacities 25% larger than modern humans, with structural differences indicating distinct genetic lineages rather than artificial deformation. DNA analysis of Paracas skulls revealed mitochondrial sequences with no matches in existing human genetic databases, suggesting hybrid ancestry from unknown populations. The skull's age distribution spans several millennia, indicating stable breeding populations rather than isolated anomalies. Across distant lands, across cultures separated by oceans and centuries, similar forms appear. Elongated skulls, unusual proportions, features that do not easily fit within the expected variation of human anatomy. Some can be explained through cultural practices such as cranial binding. Others remain less clearly understood. These discoveries, like the tablets and the stars, invite quiet contemplation rather than immediate certainty. They remind us that the human story is not simple, that even within our own physical form, there are chapters still being read, still being interpreted. Sitchin's chronological framework connects Anunnaki departure from Earth with major historical transitions in human civilization. According to his translations, the Anunnaki gradually reduced their direct involvement in human affairs around 2000 BC, coinciding with the collapse of Sumerian political structures and the rise of Babylonian dominance. This transition witnessed fundamental changes in religious practice, with polytheistic pantheons giving way to monotheistic concepts emphasizing distant, invisible deities rather than physically present divine rulers. And so, the narrative shifts once more, from presence to absence, from beings who walked among humans to gods who became distant, unseen, abstract. This transition is one of the most profound shifts in human religious history. It marks a movement from immediacy to mystery, from visible authority to invisible principle. In earlier texts, gods speak, act, appear, intervene directly. In later traditions, they become more remote. Communication becomes symbolic, mediated through prophets, visions, sacred texts. The divine moves further away, and human interpretation moves closer to the center. Whether this reflects historical change, cultural evolution, or deeper shifts in human perception, it leaves behind a quiet feeling, as though something once near has withdrawn, as though a door once open has slowly closed. Let that feeling settle gently now. No need to resolve it. No need to decide what it means. Simply notice it. The way one notices the fading of light at dusk, or the gradual quieting of a room as night deepens. The ancient world is still there, beneath layers of time, holding its questions patiently. The archaeological record documents abrupt technological and cultural changes across the ancient Near East around this same period. Sophisticated irrigation systems fell into disrepair. Monumental construction projects ceased. Advanced metallurgical techniques vanished from the record. The cuneiform writing system, which had achieved remarkable complexity, began simplifying and losing technical vocabulary related to advanced engineering and astronomical observation. These changes suggest the departure of knowledgeable supervisory personnel rather than gradual cultural evolution. If we linger quietly with this moment in history, it feels less like a sudden collapse and more like a slow dimming. Not an explosion, but a fading of certain skills, a thinning of knowledge once held firmly. Canals that once carried water with precision begin to clog, to drift out of alignment. Buildings that once rose with careful symmetry are no longer attempted at the same scale. Words once used to describe complex processes begin to disappear, replaced by simpler expressions, fewer distinctions. There is something deeply human in this pattern. Knowledge, even when it reaches great heights, is never entirely secure. It depends on memory, on teaching, on continuity. Remove enough of those threads, and even the most advanced systems begin to soften, to blur, to fade. A generation grows up without the full understanding of what came before, and what was once ordinary becomes difficult, then rare, then forgotten. Religious transformation during this period reflects fundamental shifts in humanity's relationship with divine authority. Mesopotamian texts from after 2000 BC describe gods as increasingly distant and incomprehensible, requiring priestly intermediaries for communication. Earlier texts present them as physically present rulers who interacted with human subjects through visible manifestations and technological demonstrations. The transition from immediate divine presence to abstract theological concepts parallels a proposed Anunnaki withdrawal from active terrestrial management. It is a quiet turning inward. Where once the divine may have been encountered in form, in voice, in action, now it is sought in symbol, in prayer, in interpretation. The temple remains, but its function changes. The priest becomes not only a servant, but a translator of meaning. The unseen replaces the seen. Faith replaces familiarity. And perhaps this shift carries a certain tenderness as well. For when something once visible becomes invisible, the relationship to it deepens in a different way. It becomes more personal, more interior. The divine is no longer simply encountered. It is believed, imagined, felt. It moves from the outer world into the inner one. The emergence of monotheistic religions during the 2nd millennium BC correlates with this proposed departure. Judaism, developing from earlier Canaanite polytheism, emphasizes a single invisible deity who communicates through prophetic revelation rather than direct physical interaction. The biblical account of Abraham's departure from Ur around 2000 BC coincides with Sumerian civilization's decline, suggesting that monotheistic concepts arose as alternative explanations for divine absence. Similar patterns appear in Egyptian Atonism under Akhenaten and early Persian Zoroastrianism, both emphasizing single distant deities replacing traditional pantheons of physically manifest gods. Across different lands, different languages, different traditions, a similar idea begins to take shape. One unseen source, beyond form, beyond immediate presence. The many become one. The visible becomes invisible. The divine becomes something that must be approached through thought, through devotion, through inward awareness rather than outward encounter. This transformation does not erase the old stories. It rests beside them, grows from them, reshapes them. The memory of many gods lingers, even as the idea of one God rises. The past is not replaced. It is reinterpreted. Let this transition feel soft, like the fading of daylight. Nothing is truly lost all at once. It changes, it transforms, it becomes something new. The systematic departure of advanced supervisory beings around 2000 BC left behind physical evidence that continues to challenge conventional archaeological interpretations across multiple continents. Megalithic structures demonstrate construction techniques inconsistent with the technological capabilities attributed to their supposed builders. These monuments, often predating established civilizations by millennia, exhibit precision engineering, astronomical alignments, and material handling methods suggesting access to advanced knowledge and equipment. Now the story widens again, moving beyond Mesopotamia, across continents, across oceans, across silent distances of land and time. Stone structures rise in places far from one another, yet sharing a certain quiet familiarity. Massive blocks, precise cuts, alignments that follow the sky rather than the ground. There is something deeply calming about stone. It endures. It does not hurry. It holds the memory of touch long after the hands that shaped it are gone. To stand before such structures, even in imagination, is to feel time stretch outward. The present becomes smaller. The past becomes more spacious. Göbekli Tepe in southeastern Turkey represents perhaps the most compelling example of prehistoric architectural sophistication. Carbon dating places the site's construction at approximately 9,600 BC, more than 6,000 years older than Stonehenge, and predating the development of agriculture, metallurgy, and complex social organization, according to standard archaeological timelines. The site consists of multiple circular enclosures containing massive T-shaped limestone pillars, some weighing up to 16 tons and standing 5.5 meters tall. The pillars display intricate relief carvings depicting animals, geometric symbols, and humanoid figures with elongated heads and close-fitting garments. Imagine standing there before sunrise. The air is still, the ground cool beneath your feet. Massive stone pillars rise around you in a circle, silent and watchful. Carved animals seem to move in the dim light. Foxes, birds, serpents, frozen yet alive in form. Above, the sky slowly lightens. This place was built before cities, before writing, before what we usually call civilization. And yet, here is order, here is design, here is intention. The quarrying and transportation of Göbekli Tepe's monoliths required techniques that exceed the capabilities attributed to Neolithic hunter-gatherer societies. The limestone blocks were extracted from quarries located 500 meters from the construction site using precision cutting methods that produced perfectly straight edges and smooth surfaces. Tool marks indicate the use of implements harder than copper or bronze. Yet the conventional archaeological timeline places the site's construction 3,000 years before the Bronze Age. The pillars' weight distribution and foundation systems demonstrate understanding of structural engineering principles not documented in human societies until Roman times. There is no need to rush to conclusions here, only to notice the quiet question that remains. How did such a place come to be? What knowledge guided its creation? What hands shaped those stones, and what minds imagined their arrangement? Ground-penetrating radar surveys indicate at least 20 additional circular enclosures buried beneath accumulated sediment, suggesting a complex spanning several square kilometers. The site's deliberate burial around 8000 BC involved transporting an estimated 300,000 cubic meters of fill material, requiring organizational capabilities and workforce coordination inconsistent with small-scale tribal societies. The systematic nature of this burial process indicates intentional concealment rather than natural abandonment. Burial is a curious act. To build something with care, and then to cover it deliberately, to hide it from time, from weather, from sight. It suggests preservation, or perhaps closure, or perhaps something we no longer fully understand. The carved reliefs at Göbekli Tepe contain astronomical information demonstrating sophisticated understanding of celestial mechanics. Pillar 43, known as the Vulture Stone, displays star patterns matching the constellation Cygnus as it appeared in 10,950 BC, accounting for the precession of the equinoxes. This accuracy requires sustained astronomical observation over multiple generations, contradicting assumptions about Neolithic society's limited scientific knowledge. Again, the sky returns. Always the sky. Even in the earliest structures, even before cities, even before writing, the stars are present. Observed, remembered, carved into stone. There is something deeply peaceful in this continuity. Human beings across all ages have looked upward and felt the same quiet pull of wonder. Pumapunku in Bolivia presents even more dramatic evidence of advanced prehistoric construction. Located at an altitude of 3,800 meters on the Altiplano Plateau, the site consists of precisely cut andesite and sandstone blocks fitted together without mortar, using complex interlocking joint systems. The blocks display surface finishes with tolerances measured in fractions of millimeters, achieved through techniques requiring diamond-tipped cutting tools or advanced abrasive methods. The largest blocks weigh over 130 tons and were transported from quarries 10 kilometers away across difficult mountainous terrain. High in the thin air, where breathing slows and the horizon stretches wide, these stones rest in quiet defiance of easy explanation. Their edges are sharp, their angles exact, their surfaces smooth in a way that feels almost modern, almost out of place in deep antiquity. Wind moves across them. Clouds pass overhead. Time continues, but the stones remain. The precision of Pumapunku stonework substantially exceeds the capabilities of pre-Columbian Andean civilizations. H-shaped andesite blocks contain perfectly perpendicular cuts, right-angle corners accurate to within 1/100th of an inch, and smooth surfaces that reflect light like polished mirrors. Attempts to replicate the construction using period-appropriate tools have failed to achieve comparable precision or surface quality. Dating of the site remains controversial due to the absence of organic materials suitable for radiocarbon analysis, though geological evidence suggests exposure to glacial conditions that ended approximately 12,000 years ago. And so, like Göbekli Tepe, it rests in that quiet space between what we know and what we do not yet fully understand. Underwater archaeological discoveries provide additional evidence of advanced prehistoric civilizations. The Yonaguni monument off the coast of Japan consists of massive stone terraces, steps, and platforms carved from bedrock at depths of 25 meters below sea level. The structure's geometric precision and architectural complexity indicate artificial construction rather than natural geological formation. Its submersion coincides with post-glacial sea level rise occurring between 12,000 and 10,000 years ago, placing its construction during the late Pleistocene epoch. Now imagine descending into the water. Light fades, sound softens, shapes emerge slowly from the blue-green depths. Stone steps, flat terraces, edges too straight to be entirely natural. The sea has a way of preserving silence. What lies beneath it feels distant, not only in space, but in time, as if the past itself has been submerged, waiting patiently. Marine archaeologist Dr. Masaki Kimura of the University of the Ryukyus conducted extensive underwater surveys documenting architectural features that require human construction. Perfectly straight edges, right-angle corners, and stepped pyramid configurations inconsistent with natural rock formation processes. Tool marks on stone surfaces indicate systematic carving, using implements capable of shaping hard sandstone bedrock. The monument's orientation aligns with astronomical phenomena, suggesting celestial knowledge among its builders. Even beneath the sea, the same pattern appears. Stone shaped with intention, alignment with the sky, precision beyond expectation. Let all of this settle gently in your mind. No need to solve it. No need to decide. Just allow the images to rest. Ancient cities, rising stones, quiet skies, distant stars. Similar underwater structures have been discovered off the coasts of India, Malta, and the Caribbean, all showing evidence of construction during periods when these areas were above sea level. The Gulf of Combat ruins off Gujarat, India, contain ceramic artifacts radiocarbon dated to 9,500 years ago, making them among the oldest known urban settlements. Acoustic surveys reveal ruins extending over 9 square kilometers, indicating a substantial prehistoric city submerged by post-glacial flooding. Let the image form slowly. A coastline long before the present one. Settlements where now there is only open water. People moving through streets that no longer exist, tending fires, shaping tools, speaking languages that have left no written trace. Then, over generations, or perhaps more suddenly, the sea advances. Shorelines shift. Land sinks or water rises. What was once familiar becomes unreachable. And the memory of that place, if it survives at all, survives only in story. There is something deeply quiet about submerged cities. They do not crumble in the same way as those on land. They are not worn down by wind or touched by footsteps. They are held, suspended, preserved in a different kind of stillness. Fish move where people once walked. Light bends where walls once stood in full sun. The past does not vanish. It changes medium. Ancient artifacts from global locations depict humanoid figures with distinctive non-human characteristics, aligning with Sumerian descriptions of the Anunnaki. The Ubaid culture figurines discovered throughout Mesopotamia, dating to 4,000 to 5,300 BC, consistently portray beings with elongated skulls, large eyes, and reptilian facial features, wearing close-fitting garments and often holding infants with similar physiological characteristics. Their anatomical consistency across multiple archaeological sites indicates standardized depiction of actual beings rather than mythological concepts. The figurines' burial contexts in domestic rather than religious settings, suggest they represented familiar beings rather than abstract deities. Small figures shaped by human hands carry a certain intimacy. Unlike massive temples or carved pillars, they can be held, turned, examined closely. They belong to the scale of daily life. To find such figures in homes rather than in formal temples suggests that whatever they represented, it was not distant. It was near, familiar, known. And yet, their features are not entirely human. Elongated forms, unusual proportions, expressions that feel slightly outside the ordinary. Whether they reflect stylization, symbolism, or something once observed, they remain quietly enigmatic. They do not explain themselves. They simply exist, leaving the mind to rest somewhere between recognition and uncertainty. Mesopotamian cylinder seals provide extensive documentation of technological devices and activities exceeding Bronze Age capabilities. Seals dating to 3500 BC depict rocket-like objects with pointed tops and flared bases emitting flames or energy beams. Human figures operate control panels containing geometric symbols resembling modern electronic interfaces. Flying vehicles transport passengers between Earth and celestial locations, shown as disc-shaped objects in the sky. The VA 243 cylinder seal, housed in the Vorderasiatisches Museum in Berlin, displays a solar system diagram showing the Sun surrounded by 11 celestial bodies, including what appears to be a large planet between Mars and Jupiter, with astronomical accuracy created over 4,000 years before telescopic observation. These tiny carved scenes, rolled across clay, carry a surprising density of meaning. They compress entire narratives into narrow bands of imagery. A figure reaching upward, a symbol above, lines connecting shapes, order imposed on space. To modern eyes, some of these images feel strangely familiar. Patterns that resemble diagrams, objects that resemble machines. Yet we must move gently here. Familiarity can arise from many sources. The human mind is skilled at recognizing patterns, sometimes even where none were intended. And still, the repetition of certain forms across time leaves a soft echo that is difficult to ignore. Ancient mining operations throughout Africa and South America demonstrate extraction techniques and organizational capabilities exceeding the scope of known prehistoric civilizations. The Ngwenya iron ore mine in Swaziland contains evidence of systematic extraction dating to 43,000 years ago, making it the world's oldest known mining operation. Archaeological surveys of ancient gold mines in South Africa reveal extensive underground tunnel networks extending for hundreds of kilometers, with radiocarbon dating indicating continuous operation spanning over 100,000 years. The extracted gold quantities, estimated in thousands of tons, far exceed the requirements of local prehistoric populations. Deep beneath the surface, the Earth tells another quiet story. Tunnels carved into rock, shafts descending into darkness, traces of tools, of repeated effort, of sustained activity across vast spans of time. Mining is not a casual act. It requires knowledge of where to dig, how to support the space once the earth has been removed. It requires purpose, intention, organization. And here again, the scale invites reflection. Thousands of tons, networks stretching far beyond what a small, local need would require. Whether driven by unknown ancient economies, lost purposes, or interpretations yet to be fully understood, the presence of such vast undertakings leaves a lingering sense of depth in human, or perhaps not entirely human, history. Similar evidence appears in South American mining operations, particularly in Peru and Bolivia. The Nazca region contains over 100,000 ancient mine shafts, targeting specific mineral deposits, with precision requiring advanced geological knowledge. The shafts penetrate solid rock using techniques that produce perfectly circular tunnels with smooth walls, indicating mechanical boring equipment rather than manual excavation. The extracted materials include rare metals such as platinum and iridium, which require sophisticated processing methods to separate from ore matrices. Across continents, patterns repeat. Precision, scale, intention. Whether understood fully or not, these patterns invite a kind of quiet attention rather than immediate explanation. Genetic analysis of human populations provides compelling evidence for external intervention in human evolutionary development. Mitochondrial DNA. Studies reveal that all modern humans descend from a founding population of fewer than 10,000 individuals existing approximately 200,000 years ago. A genetic bottleneck coinciding with the emergence of anatomically modern humans and inconsistent with gradual evolutionary expansion. Let the focus return inward once more, from stone and earth to the hidden code within every living cell. The story of humanity is written not only in monuments and tablets, but in the smallest structures of life itself. A small population, a narrow beginning. From that limited starting point, an entire species unfolds. Billions of lives, countless cultures, languages, histories, all emerging from a shared genetic root. There is something deeply calming in that unity. Beneath all variation, all difference, all separation, there is connection. A quiet thread running through time. The human genome contains numerous anomalies that challenge conventional evolutionary explanations. Chromosome 2, unique to humans among great apes, results from the fusion of two separate chromosomes found in chimpanzees. The fusion event occurred recently in evolutionary terms and affected the entire human population simultaneously, with the fusion site containing telomeric sequences and centromere remnants proving artificial chromosome manipulation rather than natural mutation. Within the structure of life, patterns emerge that raise questions. Some are eventually understood, others remain open. Science continues to move forward, carefully, methodically, building explanations step by step. And yet, even as explanations grow more complete, a sense of wonder remains. The human body, its structure, its function, its capacity for thought, memory, imagination, is itself an extraordinary phenomenon. Whether shaped entirely by natural processes or influenced in ways not yet fully understood, it remains something deeply intricate and quietly remarkable. Human cognitive development shows acceleration patterns inconsistent with gradual evolutionary processes. Archaeological evidence indicates that human brain size increased by 50% over 2 million years, then suddenly stabilized around 200,000 years ago, coinciding with the appearance of complex language, symbolic thinking, and advanced tool manufacturing. This rapid cognitive enhancement lacks intermediate stages documented in other species, and the simultaneous emergence of multiple advanced capabilities suggests external intervention rather than natural selection. At some point in the long story of life, something changed. Awareness deepened, language emerged, symbols began to carry meaning beyond immediate experience. Humans began to think not only about the present, but about the past, the future, the unseen. This transition is one of the most profound mysteries of all. Not simply physical change, but the emergence of mind, the ability to reflect, to imagine, to wonder. Recent discoveries in human genetics have identified over 200 genes with no identifiable precursors in the primate evolutionary lineage, appearing suddenly in human ancestry and relating primarily to advanced cognitive functions. Their absence from closely related species and lack of evolutionary intermediates indicate horizontal gene transfer from external sources rather than vertical inheritance through natural reproduction. Science continues to examine these questions with care. Each discovery adds detail, but also complexity. The story becomes richer, not simpler. The genetic anomalies documented in human evolutionary development have prompted renewed scientific investigation into potential external influences on terrestrial biological systems, while simultaneously driving astronomical research toward identifying possible sources of such intervention. Modern space-based observation platforms and computational modeling capabilities have revolutionized our ability to detect and analyze celestial objects throughout the solar system, revealing a complex population of trans-Neptunian objects that challenge traditional planetary formation theories. And so, the narrative gently expands again, connecting the smallest structures of life with the largest structures of space. From genes to galaxies, from cells to stars. The Kuiper Belt, extending from Neptune's orbit to approximately 50 astronomical units from the Sun, contains thousands of icy bodies ranging from small asteroids to dwarf planets. New Horizons flyby of Pluto in 2015 revealed geological activity and atmospheric complexity that contradicted expectations for such a distant world. The spacecraft's instruments detected nitrogen glaciers, methane dunes, and possible subsurface oceans, indicating internal heat sources requiring explanation beyond conventional planetary science models. Far from the warmth of the sun, even small worlds can hold complexity. Frozen landscapes, hidden oceans, slow movements beneath icy crusts. The universe, it seems, does not lose its intricacy with distance. Beyond the Kuiper Belt lies the scattered disk, a sparsely populated region containing objects with highly elliptical orbits. Eris, discovered in 2005, orbits between 38 and 97 astronomical units from the Sun, with an orbital period of 557 years. Sedna, discovered in 2003, follows an even more extreme orbit, ranging from 76 to 937 astronomical units, with a period of approximately 11,400 years. Its orbital characteristics indicating gravitational influence from sources beyond the known planetary system. Out there, time moves differently. Orbits take thousands of years. Movements unfold slowly, almost beyond perception. These distant objects carry within them clues about the formation and structure of the solar system, about forces that may still be shaping it in ways not fully understood. The discovery of 2012 VP113 revealed another object with orbital characteristics similar to Sedna's, suggesting a population of extremely distant objects influenced by common gravitational forces. These objects share orbital orientations that cluster in specific directions, a pattern that would dissipate over millions of years unless maintained by ongoing gravitational influence. Computer simulations indicate that random gravitational interactions with known planets cannot account for this observed clustering. Patterns again. Always patterns. In stone, in sky, in genetics, in... The universe expresses itself through structure, through repetition, through relationships between parts. Let this awareness settle gently. There is no need to resolve every question. Simply allow the sense of vastness, of interconnectedness, to remain. You are part of this story. quietly, naturally, without effort. In 2016, astronomers Konstantin Batygin and Mike Brown published calculations indicating that gravitational perturbations affecting multiple trans-Neptunian objects could be explained by a previously unknown planet with a mass 5 to 10 times that of Earth. This hypothetical planet 9 would orbit between 200 and 1200 astronomical units from the Sun, with a period of 10,000 to 20,000 years. Evidence for Planet 9 derives from statistical analysis. 6 objects with semi-major axes greater than 150 astronomical units show orbital alignments with only a 0.007% probability of occurring by chance. Current calculations indicate a 99.6% probability that the observed clustering results from gravitational influence rather than observational bias. If we pause gently with this idea, it becomes less about certainty and more about possibility. Not a known world, not yet seen, but a pattern, a quiet influence shaping distant motion. In the outer darkness, something may be guiding the paths of smaller bodies, something unseen yet detectable through its effects. This is often how discovery begins, not with direct sight, but with subtle deviation. A path that bends when it should not. A rhythm that shifts ever so slightly. A pattern that holds when randomness would not. Infrared astronomical surveys have proven particularly effective at detecting distant objects through their thermal emissions. The Wide-Field Infrared Survey Explorer, operating from 2010 to 2011, mapped the entire sky and identified numerous brown dwarfs within 20 light-years of the solar system. Analysis of WISE data ruled out Saturn-sized or larger objects within 10,000 astronomical units of the Sun. However, Neptune-sized objects could remain undetected at distances beyond 700 astronomical units, leaving substantial regions where moderately large planets could orbit undetected. There is something deeply calming in the idea that even now, in an age of advanced instruments and precise observation, the universe still holds quiet corners beyond our full awareness. Regions where objects may move slowly, far beyond the reach of easy detection. Not hidden in mystery, but simply distant, simply patient. Gravitational anomalies in the outer solar system extend to unexplained perturbations affecting spacecraft trajectories. The Pioneer 10 and 11 probes experienced small but persistent deceleration that could not initially be explained by known gravitational forces. Though later attributed to asymmetric thermal radiation from their generators, the investigation revealed the extreme precision required to detect subtle gravitational influences in the outer solar system. Modern spacecraft carry far more sophisticated instrumentation, providing unprecedented sensitivity to unknown massive objects or unconventional gravitational phenomena. These delicate measurements remind us how finely tuned our observations have become. Tiny deviations, barely perceptible, can lead to years of careful study. The difference between expectation and reality, even when small, becomes meaningful. It is through such quiet discrepancies that understanding grows. The Voyager 1 and 2 spacecraft, now operating in interstellar space, continue transmitting data about conditions beyond the solar system's boundaries. Voyager 1's entry into interstellar space in 2012 revealed unexpected magnetic field orientations and particle densities differing from theoretical predictions, demonstrating that the solar system's interaction with the local interstellar medium remains poorly understood. Far beyond the orbit of the planets, these small human-made instruments continue their silent journey, carrying with them fragments of human curiosity, messages, and intention, moving through a region where the influence of the sun fades and the broader galaxy begins to assert itself. It is a quiet image, two distant travelers moving steadily outward, still speaking softly back across unimaginable distances. Recent theoretical work has explored scenarios where the solar system captured rogue planets or brown dwarf companions during its early formation. Brown dwarf companions represent particularly intriguing possibilities for explaining periodic catastrophic events in Earth's geological record. These failed stars possess masses between 13 and 80 times that of Jupiter, but generate insufficient nuclear fusion to sustain stellar luminosity. A brown dwarf in a highly elliptical orbit would remain invisible to optical telescopes during most of its orbital period, becoming detectable only during close approaches. Its gravitational influence could trigger comet showers, asteroid perturbations, and orbital instabilities affecting inner planets. The idea of a distant, unseen companion moving slowly through vast cycles of time carries a certain quiet resonance. Not a constant presence, but a returning influence. Long periods of absence, followed by moments of approach. If such a body exists, its rhythm would be measured not in years, but in millions of years, far beyond the scale of human memory. The Nemesis hypothesis, proposed in 1984, suggested that a red or brown dwarf star orbits the Sun at distances of 1 to 3 light-years, with a period of 26 to 34 million years, periodically disrupting the Oort cloud and sending comets toward the inner solar system. Statistical analysis of the fossil record reveals extinction patterns with periodicities roughly matching this proposed orbit. Though modern surveys have not confirmed Nemesis's existence, the Gaia spacecraft, launched in 2013 and mapping over 1 billion stars with unprecedented precision, continues to provide comprehensive coverage. Here again, the pattern appears: cycles. Long, quiet cycles beyond ordinary perception. The rise and fall of species. Periods of calm, followed by disruption. Whether these cycles are driven by external celestial bodies or internal planetary processes, they remind us that the Earth is not isolated. It exists within a larger system, influenced by forces that extend far beyond its surface. Space agencies worldwide have dramatically increased monitoring of near-Earth objects over the past 2 decades. NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office, established in 2016, coordinates international efforts to detect, track, and potentially deflect objects posing collision risks. The Spacewatch project, operating since 1981 from Kitt Peak Observatory, has discovered over 100,000 asteroids and comets, revealing that the near-Earth object population contains significantly more large asteroids than previously estimated. Let the focus return gently closer to Earth. The sky above us is not empty. It is filled with objects moving along their paths, most of them harmless, some of them crossing near our orbit. Modern observation has made us more aware of these movements, more attentive to potential risks. International cooperation in planetary defense expanded rapidly following the Chelyabinsk meteoroid explosion in 2013, which injured over 1,600 people and demonstrated the consequences of undetected space objects. The European Space Agency's Space Situational Awareness Program maintains independent monitoring capabilities while coordinating with NASA and international partners. Ground-based telescopes in Spain, the Canary Islands, and Chile provide continuous coverage of different sky regions. There is a quiet reassurance in this collective effort. Multiple nations, multiple observatories, watching the sky together, sharing data, tracking motion, preparing not in fear, but in awareness. The Vera Rubin Observatory, scheduled to begin full operations recently, will revolutionize near-Earth object detection through its unprecedented survey capabilities. Its 8.4-meter mirror and 3.2 gigapixel camera will image the entire visible sky every 3 nights, providing rapid detection of moving objects and precise orbital determination for newly discovered asteroids and comets. The observatory's 10-year survey will catalog an estimated 5 million asteroids, including virtually all potentially hazardous objects larger than 140 meters. A steady watch, a continuous observation. The sky, once mysterious and distant, is now mapped with increasing clarity. Yet even as knowledge expands, the sense of wonder remains. The more we see, the more we realize how much there is still to understand. Solar system formation models continue evolving as new discoveries challenge established theories. The NICE model, developed in 2005, proposes that the giant planets underwent significant orbital migration approximately 600 million years after solar system formation, disrupting asteroid and comet populations, while potentially ejecting or capturing additional planetary bodies. The GrandTAC model proposes that Jupiter migrated inward to within 1.5 astronomical units of the Sun before reversing course, scattering planetesimals throughout the solar system, while potentially capturing objects from the interstellar medium. The history of the solar system is not a simple, static picture. It is dynamic, changing, shaped by movement, interaction, and time. Planets shifting positions, materials scattering and regrouping, structures forming and reforming. The discovery of hot Jupiters orbiting other stars has revealed that planetary migration represents a common process in stellar system evolution. The prevalence of such planets suggests that planetary systems commonly experience dramatic orbital evolution that could introduce or eject planetary bodies throughout their histories. Computational models incorporating gravitational influences from the galactic environment reveal periodic perturbations that could affect planetary orbits over millions of years. The solar system's motion through the galaxy, exposing it to varying gravitational fields from stellar concentrations, molecular clouds, and dark matter structures. And so, once again, the perspective widens. The solar system itself is part of a larger motion, the movement of the galaxy. The galaxy, in turn, moves within an even larger structure. Everything is connected, each level influencing the next. The galactic influences affecting solar system dynamics throughout cosmic history find their terrestrial counterpart in ancient prophetic texts that consistently describe cyclical returns of celestial beings during periods of technological advancement and social upheaval. These traditions, spanning millennia and crossing cultural boundaries, preserve detailed descriptions of divine interventions that align remarkably with modern astronomical discoveries and emerging technologies. Now the narrative gently returns from the vastness of space back to human memory, to stories, to prophecies, to traditions passed down across generations. Across cultures, across continents, there are recurring ideas of return, of cycles, of moments when something from beyond ordinary experience reappears during times of change. The Mesopotamian prophetic corpus, particularly the Akkadian prophecies and Babylonian chronicles, contain specific temporal markers and astronomical references suggesting these texts document actual historical cycles rather than abstract religious concepts. The Shulgi prophecy, dating to approximately 2000 BC, specifies that the return occurs when bronze gives way to iron, and iron yields to substances unknown to previous generations. a progression accurately describing the sequence from ancient metallurgy to modern synthetic materials and advanced alloys developed during the 20th century. Time moves forward, but patterns remain. Materials change, tools evolve, knowledge expands. Yet the idea of transition, of moving from one stage to another, persists. The Marduk prophecy provides more precise chronological indicators, describing the god's return when the sky fire descends in metal birds and distant voices speak across vast waters without messengers, descriptions that correspond remarkably to aircraft technology and long-distance communication systems emerging during the Industrial Revolution. The text specifies that Marduk's absence spans 70 generations of kings, which, calculated using average reign lengths from Mesopotamian king lists, places his return in the modern era. It is important, again, to move gently here. These parallels can be interpreted in many ways, as coincidence, as symbolic language, as retrospective interpretation, or as something more deliberate. The meaning is not fixed. It remains open. The Babylonian chronicles document historical events with chronological accuracy, allowing precise correlation with astronomical phenomena and technological developments. Chronicle 5 records unusual celestial appearances coinciding with social upheaval and the introduction of new technologies, describing wandering stars that appear as scheduled and skyboats that traverse the heavens according to ancient patterns. The dynastic chronicle contains passages describing cyclic returns, correlating with specific astronomical alignments, configurations of Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius occurring during the precession cycle approximately every 3,600 years. Cycles again, patterns again. The same quiet rhythm moving through different forms. In stars, in stories, in human experience. Let all of this settle softly. No urgency, no need to decide. Only the gentle awareness of a vast, interconnected story, unfolding slowly across time. Cross-cultural analysis reveals striking parallels between Mesopotamian return prophecies and similar traditions worldwide. The Aztec prophecies describing Quetzalcoatl's return contain identical temporal markers. The Codex Chimalpopoca describes the feathered serpent's return when metal birds fill the sky and men speak to distant lands through invisible threads, arriving from the east in houses that float upon the waters, followed by skyboats that shine like stars in daylight. These alignments, calculated using modern astronomical software, correspond to planetary positions during the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Hindu prophetic literature contains equally detailed descriptions of cyclical divine interventions. The Vishnu Purana describes the appearance of Kalki Avatar during the Kali Yuga, the current cosmic age characterized by moral decline and technological proliferation. Kalki is described as possessing an elongated skull, large luminous eyes, and wearing close-fitting garments that shine like metal, with knowledge of all sciences and technologies appearing miraculous to contemporary observers, descriptions matching consistently reported features of alleged extraterrestrial beings in modern accounts. The Surya Siddhanta, an ancient astronomical treatise, provides mathematical formulas for calculating planetary positions and cosmic cycles demonstrating remarkable accuracy, placing Kalki's arrival during celestial configurations occurring in the present historical period. Tibetan Buddhist prophecies describe the return of Shambhala warriors during times of global technological development and spiritual crisis. The Kalachakra Tantra describes advanced beings possessing sky chariots and weapons of light who will restore cosmic order, emerging when iron birds fill the sky and men harness lightning for their purposes. clear references to aircraft technology and electrical power systems developed during the Industrial Age. The Shambhala prophecy includes geographical references suggesting specific terrestrial locations associated with the returning beings, with recent satellite imagery identifying anomalous structures in the Himalayas corresponding to locations described in the prophecies. Norse prophetic traditions preserved in the prose, Edda present Ragnarok as a cyclical event rather than a final apocalypse. The returning gods possess skyships and thunderhammers, used to defeat chaotic forces and re-establish civilization, with renewal occurring when iron gives way to stranger metals and men master the power of stars. Descriptions aligning with nuclear technology and space exploration. The celestial configurations associated with this cosmic renewal correspond to astronomical alignments occurring during the modern era. Esoteric traditions throughout history have maintained detailed knowledge of cyclical cosmic events. Hermetic texts, particularly the Corpus Hermeticum attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, describe recurring periods when celestial teachers descend to guide human development during crucial transitional phases. The principle, as above, so below, underlies Hermetic astrology and alchemy, which preserve technical knowledge of cosmic cycles and their effects on human civilization. The tradition maintains that advanced beings periodically incarnate among humans to preserve and transmit essential knowledge during times of cultural transition, appearing specifically during periods when human technology approaches levels that could be either beneficial or destructive to planetary civilization. Gnostic texts provide detailed descriptions of cosmic hierarchies and cyclical interventions by advanced beings. The Apocryphon of John describes watchers who monitor human development and intervene during critical periods to prevent civilizational collapse. The Nag Hammadi codices describe their vehicles as chariots of fire that can traverse vast distances, and their communication methods as involving direct mental contact rather than spoken language, descriptions aligning closely with modern UFO encounter reports. Gnostic chronology places the current era within a critical transition period when the Watchers increase their activities in preparation for a major cosmic event. Medieval alchemical texts preserve encoded knowledge of cyclical cosmic events. The Mutus Liber, a wordless alchemical manual published in 1677, depicts beings descending from the sky to instruct humans in transformative processes. The Rosicrucian manifestos published in the early 17th century claim contact with invisible brothers who possess advanced scientific knowledge and work to guide human development from behind the scenes. Renaissance Hermetic philosophers like Marsilio Ficino and Pico della Mirandola documented contacts with non-human intelligences that provided advanced knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and natural philosophy. Knowledge that contributed to the scientific revolution and the development of modern experimental methods. Modern channeled material and UFO contactee accounts provide contemporary documentation of alleged communication with Anunnaki entities and other advanced beings. Beginning in the 1950s, individuals claiming direct contact with extraterrestrial intelligences reported consistent messages about cyclical returns and humanity's current transitional period. Later contacts describe advanced beings who identify themselves as Anunnaki or related groups, claiming responsibility for human genetic development and periodic interventions throughout history. Contemporary channeled material, from sources including the Pleiadian transmissions, Anunnaki contacts, and Zeta communications, describes the present era as a crucial transition when humanity must choose between evolutionary advancement or civilizational collapse, These sources describe the same cyclical patterns, astronomical alignments, and technological markers found in Mesopotamian, Hindu, and other ancient prophecies. The mathematical precision of timing predictions and astronomical references in both ancient and modern sources exceeds what could reasonably result from cultural transmission or psychological projection. Multiple independent sources report that the current return period began during the mid-20th century and will intensify through the early 21st century, matching calculations based on ancient astronomical references and cyclical patterns documented in prophetic texts. The convergence of ancient predictions and modern contact reports suggests either remarkable synchronicity or genuine connection to cyclical cosmic events affecting human civilization. The convergence of ancient predictions and modern contact reports has established a temporal framework placing humanity within a critical transition period, one coinciding remarkably with unprecedented technological developments across multiple scientific disciplines. The acceleration of genetic research, artificial intelligence capabilities, and space exploration programs since the mid-20th century follows patterns aligning precisely with prophetic descriptions of preparation for extraterrestrial contact. Genetic engineering capabilities have reached levels that would have seemed impossible just decades ago. CRISPR-Cas9 technology, developed in 2012, allows precise modification of DNA sequences with accuracy that exceeds natural evolutionary processes by orders of magnitude. This capability mirrors the genetic manipulation described in Sumerian texts, where Enki and Ninhursag combined terrestrial and celestial genetic material to create enhanced human beings. The Human Genome Project, completed in 2003, revealed 223 genes that appear nowhere else in the evolutionary record, controlling advanced cognitive functions, including language processing, abstract reasoning, and complex social behaviors. Recent advances in synthetic biology have achieved the creation of entirely artificial organisms. In 2010, researchers at the J. Craig Venter Institute created the first synthetic bacterial genome, the organism containing a completely artificial genome assembled from laboratory-synthesized DNA components, representing the first step toward creating designer organisms with predetermined characteristics. Artificial intelligence development has followed exponential growth curves exceeding all previous technological advancement patterns. The GPT series of language models demonstrates cognitive capabilities approaching human-level performance in complex reasoning tasks. Machine learning algorithms have achieved superhuman performance in pattern recognition, strategic planning, and creative problem-solving. DeepMind's AlphaGo defeated the World Go champion in 2016, mastering a game with more possible positions than atoms in the observable universe. Subsequent AI systems have achieved similar breakthroughs in protein folding prediction, drug discovery, and mathematical theorem proving. Brain-computer interfaces developed by companies like Neuralink enable direct communication between human neurons and computer systems, demonstrating the feasibility of merging biological and artificial intelligence, potentially creating enhanced human-AI hybrids with capabilities exceeding either component alone. Ancient texts describe similar biological-technological integration as standard among advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. Quantum computing development has achieved practical demonstration of capabilities that classical physics cannot explain. Google's quantum computer achieved quantum supremacy in 2019 by solving a specific problem in 200 seconds that would require 10,000 years using the world's fastest classical supercomputer. IBM's quantum systems demonstrate error correction and logical qubit operation necessary for practical quantum computation. Space exploration programs have experienced unprecedented expansion. SpaceX has developed reusable rocket technology, reducing launch costs by orders of magnitude. NASA's Artemis program plans to establish a permanent lunar base by 2030, construction requiring advanced life support systems, radiation shielding, and resource extraction capabilities, approaching the technological sophistication described in Sumerian accounts of Anunnaki mining operations. Mars exploration programs have revealed environmental conditions that could support human colonization, with the Perseverance rover confirming the presence of organic compounds, subsurface water ice, and atmospheric conditions suitable for oxygen production. The James Webb Space Telescope, launched in 2021, has revolutionized astronomical observation by detecting infrared radiation from the most distant galaxies. Recent discoveries include super-Earths with potentially habitable atmospheric conditions, water vapor in exoplanet atmospheres, and complex organic molecules in interstellar space, demonstrating that the universe contains abundant opportunities for life and civilization beyond Earth. Breakthrough Listen, the most comprehensive search for extraterrestrial intelligence ever undertaken, monitors millions of stars across multiple wavelengths for signs of artificial signals. The program has detected numerous anomalous radio signals, including fast radio bursts exhibiting characteristics suggesting artificial origin. While none have been definitively confirmed as extraterrestrial communications, their increasing frequency correlates with ancient predictions of intensified contact activity during the current era. Government and military disclosure of UFO phenomena has accelerated dramatically since 2017, when the Pentagon released 3 videos showing unidentified aerial phenomena exhibiting flight characteristics beyond known human technology, including instantaneous acceleration, right-angle turns at high velocity, and transmedium travel between air and water without visible propulsion. The Pentagon's establishment of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office in 2022 represents official acknowledgement that unidentified objects routinely operate in restricted airspace. The 2021 UAP report to Congress documented 144 unexplained aerial phenomena observed by military personnel between 2004 and 2021. International UFO disclosure has followed similar patterns. The French GAIPEN program has released over 2,000 UFO investigation files. The British Ministry of Defence released 52,000 pages of UFO documents in 2020. Similar disclosure programs in Brazil, Chile, and Belgium document consistent patterns of advanced aerial objects operating with apparent impunity. The characteristics reported align precisely with ancient descriptions of Anunnaki spacecraft. Disc-shaped or triangular objects with smooth metallic surfaces displaying geometric patterns, emitting various colors of light, and producing electromagnetic effects interfering with electronic equipment. Elite behavior patterns have exhibited significant changes suggesting preparation for major global events. Underground facility construction has accelerated dramatically since 2000, with government and private organizations investing billions in subterranean complexes designed for long-term habitation. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault, completed in 2008, stores over 1 million seed samples from crop varieties worldwide, designed to preserve genetic diversity in the event of global catastrophe. Similar genetic preservation projects include frozen tissue banks, DNA libraries, and cryogenic storage facilities for endangered species. Billionaire space programs have prioritized developing off-world survival capabilities. Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin focuses on lunar colonization and asteroid mining, while Elon Musk's SpaceX emphasizes Mars settlement and interplanetary transportation. Central bank digital currencies and blockchain technologies have developed with unprecedented speed and coordination across multiple nations, enabling complete monitoring and control of financial transactions. Timing and uniformity, suggesting coordination by entities with global authority, rather than independent national initiatives. Environmental monitoring systems have detected anomalous patterns correlating with ancient prophecies describing cosmic events accompanying extraterrestrial return. Earth's magnetic field has weakened by 10% since 1845 and continues declining at an accelerating rate. The magnetic poles are shifting at unprecedented speeds, with the North Magnetic Pole moving from Canada towards Siberia at 55 kilometers per year. Solar activity patterns have exhibited unusual characteristics, and cosmic radiation levels have increased significantly since 2009. NASA monitoring stations documenting radiation increases of 13% at aircraft altitudes. Seismic activity patterns show statistical anomalies correlating with astronomical alignments described in ancient prophecies. The frequency of magnitude 8 plus earthquakes has increased by 265% since 2004, while volcanic activity has intensified globally. Atmospheric anomalies include increasing frequencies of ball lightning, plasma phenomena, and unexplained aerial displays resembling ancient divine manifestations. Sprite lightning, red sprites, and blue jets, occurring at altitudes where conventional lightning cannot form, have increased dramatically since 2000. Ocean temperature and current patterns have exhibited changes exceeding climate change model predictions, while underwater volcanic activity has increased substantially, suggesting planetary energy systems responding to external influences beyond conventional climate factors. The atmospheric anomalies and planetary changes documented in recent decades coincide with ancient Sumerian protocols for divine-human interaction that provide detailed frameworks for managing contact between technologically advanced beings and human populations. These protocols, preserved in administrative cuneiform tablets from Nippur and Babylon, describe systematic procedures for establishing communication channels, organizing human societies for integration with advanced civilizations, and maintaining stability during transition periods. The Sumerian temple system functioned as the primary interface between human communities and their Anunnaki administrators, with specific rituals facilitating communication across technological and consciousness barriers. Temple complexes contained specialized chambers equipped with devices described as speaking stones and seeing bowls, enabling real-time communication with distant Anunnaki locations. The Gudea cylinders, dating to 2125 BC, provide detailed specifications for constructing these communication facilities, including precise measurements for chamber dimensions, acoustic properties, and electromagnetic field requirements. The cylinders describe chambers with walls containing metallic components arranged in geometric patterns, creating resonance effects that facilitated telepathic contact. Archaeological analysis of Mesopotamian temple foundations reveals construction features aligning with these communication specifications. Ground-penetrating radar surveys have identified metallic structures in temple foundations throughout Mesopotamia, suggesting standardized communication technology distributed across the Anunnaki administrative network. The chamber's acoustic properties amplify specific frequency ranges while dampening others, creating optimal conditions for consciousness-based communication methods described in the tablets. The ritual protocols for divine communication involve specific preparation procedures, including dietary restrictions, purification ceremonies, and consciousness-altering practices designed to enhance telepathic receptivity. The Surpu Incantation series describes purification rituals using specific plant compounds and mineral preparations that modern analysis reveals contain psychoactive substances affecting neural chemistry, including extracts from Syrian rue, blue lotus, and various frankincense resins, producing measurable changes in brainwave patterns that enhance receptivity to external consciousness influences. The Mesopotamian offering system provided material support for Anunnaki operations while establishing economic relationships between human communities and their administrators. Temple records document precise quantities of gold, silver, and rare earth elements delivered to divine households, materials serving practical technological purposes rather than symbolic religious functions. The Driam Archive, spanning 2100 to 2000 BC, records over 100,000 livestock transactions involving temple complexes, indicating massive resource flow, supporting substantial non-human populations. Analysis of offering lists reveals specific material requirements aligning with advanced technological applications, including pure metals in exact quantities and rare minerals with specific chemical compositions. The Kanesh Merchant Archives document trade networks spanning thousands of kilometers to acquire materials specified in divine requisitions, including platinum from Africa, rare earth elements from Asia, and organic compounds from South America, suggesting coordination by entities with comprehensive knowledge of terrestrial resource distribution. The hierarchical communication system described in administrative tablets establishes clear protocols for managing information flow between human populations and Anunnaki administrators. High priests possessed direct communication access through temple facilities, while regional administrators received instructions through secondary channels. Local officials operated through standardized protocols requiring no direct divine contact, creating stable governance structures that could function during periods of reduced Anunnaki presence. This communication hierarchy provides a template for managing contact scenarios involving technologically advanced beings, preventing information overload while ensuring essential instructions reach appropriate recipients without creating panic or social disruption. The Sumerian texts contain explicit warnings about potential conflicts between different Anunnaki factions during return periods. The Lugali epic describes warfare between Ninurta and Asag, representing technological and environmental factions within Anunnaki society, involving weapons of brilliance that create mountains of fire and poisoned air. Descriptions aligning with nuclear warfare capabilities. The Epic of Era provides even more detailed descriptions of factional warfare, with Era representing a militant faction advocating direct control over human populations, while Marduk supports gradual integration and technological transfer. These factional conflicts appear to involve fundamental disagreements about humanity's role in galactic civilization. Conservative factions view humans as a created species requiring permanent supervision and control, while progressive groups advocate for human independence and technological advancement. Ancient texts describe specific geographical regions where different Anunnaki factions maintain primary influence. Mesopotamia traditionally served as Enlil's administrative center, focusing on atmospheric and climate management. Egypt fell under Enki's authority, emphasizing biological sciences and genetic research. The Indus Valley represented Ninhursag's domain, concentrating on agricultural and ecological development. The Atrahasis epic describes how humans survived the flood by maintaining neutrality between warring gods while secretly supporting the faction most favorable to human survival, a strategy requiring sophisticated intelligence gathering, diplomatic skills, and careful resource management. Modern geopolitical patterns reflect similar factional influences operating through human proxy organizations, with different regions exhibiting distinct technological development patterns and social organization structures that align with ancient descriptions of Anunnaki factional territories. Mystery schools and esoteric traditions throughout history have preserved consciousness expansion techniques specifically designed to prepare human minds for contact with advanced non-human intelligences. The Egyptian mystery schools at Heliopolis and Dendera taught systematic methods for achieving altered consciousness states, facilitating telepathic communication and enhanced perception. These techniques involve specific breathing patterns, geometric visualizations, and sound frequencies producing measurable changes in neural activity. The Eleusinian mysteries in ancient Greece employed psychoactive compounds combined with ritual procedures to induce consciousness states described as direct contact with divine beings. Modern analysis of residues from ceremonial vessels reveals the presence of ergot alkaloids, psilocybin compounds, and other psychoactive substances. Participants reported encounters with luminous beings who transmitted advanced knowledge about natural laws, mathematics, and cosmic principles, knowledge that influenced the development of Greek philosophy and science. Hermetic traditions preserved in medieval alchemical texts describe systematic procedures for achieving communication with the divine through consciousness expansion. The Corpus Hermeticum provides detailed instructions for meditation practices, visualization exercises, and ritual procedures designed to establish contact with advanced intelligences, involving specific geometric patterns, mathematical relationships, and electromagnetic field manipulations, creating optimal conditions for consciousness-based communication across dimensional barriers. The Rosicrucian tradition maintains detailed records of successful contact experiences achieved through systematic consciousness development programs, with manuscripts describing graduated training sequences involving purification practices, concentration exercises, and energy manipulation techniques that progressively enhance human consciousness capabilities. Advanced practitioners reportedly achieved direct communication with invisible brothers who provided instruction in advanced sciences, healing methods, and cosmic principles. Modern consciousness research has validated many principles underlying these ancient contact preparation techniques. Neuroscience studies demonstrate that specific meditation practices produce measurable changes in brain structure and function, enhancing neural connectivity and electromagnetic field generation. Research on psychedelic compounds reveals their ability to facilitate experiences of expanded consciousness and apparent contact with non-human intelligences. Ancient techniques for consciousness expansion represent sophisticated technologies for enhancing human perceptual capabilities rather than primitive religious practices. The practical applications of consciousness expansion extend beyond individual development to include collective preparation for contact scenarios. Ancient texts describe community-wide consciousness enhancement programs involving synchronized meditation practices, collective ritual procedures, and shared consciousness experiences that created group telepathic capabilities, enabling coordinated response to contact situations while preventing panic and social disruption. Ancient texts provide specific guidance for practical preparations necessary to navigate the transition period preceding full contact with returning Anunnaki. Sumerian administrative records describe community organization structures emphasizing local self-sufficiency, distributed leadership, and flexible resource allocation systems. Resource management protocols focus on accumulating essential materials and developing sustainable production capabilities before external support systems become unreliable, including food production and storage, water security, energy independence, and medical supplies. The texts specify that successful transition communities require balanced populations with diverse skill sets, including agriculture, craftsmanship, healing arts, and spiritual practices. Leadership structures must combine practical management capabilities with spiritual development sufficient to maintain community cohesion during stressful periods. Spiritual development receives particular emphasis, with texts describing systematic programs for enhancing individual consciousness and community spiritual coherence through regular meditation practices, study of cosmic principles, and development of telepathic capabilities. The ancient records suggest that communities successfully navigating the transition period will serve as integration points for broader human civilization, receiving advanced technologies and knowledge enabling rapid development toward galactic citizenship. These communities become demonstration sites where new organizational structures, technological systems, and consciousness capabilities can be tested and refined before implementation on larger scales. The preparation process represents not just a survival strategy, but conscious participation in humanity's evolutionary advancement. The convergence of ancient prophecies, modern technological developments, and contemporary contact experiences creates an unprecedented historical moment, requiring careful navigation based on wisdom preserved across millennia. The Sumerian records provide detailed guidance for managing this transition. But success depends on human willingness to prepare systematically, rather than react chaotically to unfolding events. The choice between evolutionary advancement and civilizational collapse may ultimately depend on humanity's ability to remember and apply the ancient knowledge preserved precisely for this critical moment in our species' development. The evidence suggests that the return of the Anunnaki represents not an invasion or conquest, but a planned reunion between humanity and its genetic and cultural ancestors. The ancient records indicate this reunion was always intended as part of humanity's developmental process, with the current transition period representing a graduation from planetary childhood to galactic citizenship. Whether this transition proceeds smoothly or catastrophically depends largely on human preparation and willingness to embrace our cosmic heritage, rather than cling to limited planetary perspectives. The ancient wisdom preserved in Sumerian tablets offers humanity a roadmap for this transformation, but only if we possess the wisdom to recognize and follow the guidance our ancestors left for precisely this moment in history. And so, we arrive, gently, at the end of our journey through these vast corridors of time. From the wedge-shaped marks on clay, to the stars overhead, to the quiet question of who we truly are. It is a long and winding road, one that has no simple ending. Let these ideas rest now, somewhere soft in the back of your mind, like seeds that may grow in their own quiet time. Feel your breath slowing. Feel the weight of your body settling. The stories of ancient skies and distant travelers can wait for another night. For now, there is only this stillness, this warmth, this gentle moment between the world and sleep. May your rest be deep, your dreams be kind, and the morning find you peaceful. Good night and sleep well.